Finally, Minister, I wanted to hear your observations on the legacy of Margaret Thatcher. Do you agree with John Howard's views expressed today that she was the greatest British leader since Winston Churchill?
I think she's certainly the word "great" has got some challenges, but I recall one conversation I had with her in her retirement where she said something that was unabashedly racist, where she warned Australia, talking to me, with Helena standing not far away, against Asian immigration, saying that if we allowed too much of it, we'd see the natives of the land, the European settlers, overtaken by migrants. I couldn't believe it. It reminded me that despite, yes, her greatness on those big questions, role of the state, the evil nature of communist totalitarianism, there was an old-fashioned quality to her that was entirely out of touch and probably explained why her party removed her in the early 90s.
You must have been extremely taken aback by those comments, not to mention Helena, as you say.
I was astonished. No, Helena fortunately was out of earshot, but I remember one thing she said as part of that conversation. She said, "You'll end up like Fiji." She said, "I like Sydney, but you can't allow the migrants," and in context she meant Asian migration, "to take over. Otherwise you'll end up like Fiji, where the Indian migrants have taken over." And I was so astonished I couldn't think of an appropriate reply. I think we moved on to other subjects pretty quickly. But I don't say that in any way to diminish the respect I felt for her because of the boldness of political leadership. She deserves credit for that, and that should be uppermost in our thoughts today.
The federal opposition is calling on Foreign Minister Bob Carr to apologise to the family of the late Baroness Thatcher. Last night on Lateline, Senator Carr recalled a conversation with the former British Prime Minister in which he suggested Australia should clamp down on Asian immigration. This happened while his Malaysian-born wife was in the room.
I recall one conversation I had with her in her retirement where she said something that was unabashedly racist, where she warned Australia, talking to me, with Helena standing not far away, against Asian immigration.
For him to make such a graceless, cowardly attack on a former British Prime Minister less than 24 hours after her death shows the kind of man he is. Not a shred of decency, and there can be no excuse for this. He should apologise.
Julie Bishop says Senator Carr failed to show the diplomacy expected in his position. Some division here in Australia, of course, after Senator Carr's remarks we just heard on Lateline last night. He drew fire from Julie Bishop. What about in Britain? Has anyone picked up on them?
They have, but they really haven't picked up to the point of getting comments on this side. They've really just noted it, but I'm sure that will come. They've been a little late coming to it. It's been in the BBC, for example. We've got The Guardian and also The Telegraph. They've reported his remarks, and no doubt that will get some comment today, but it's just a little early.
Yes, well, we might sort of see the great headline Lizard of Oz once again. It was used once again against Paul Keating. We'll see what happens.